I stood frozen in my childhood driveway, staring at the banner strung across our front porch. "Welcome home, loser." The exclamation point was decorated with a little smiley face. My mother had always been creative with her cruelty. "My name is Layla, and this is how my family chose to welcome me home after my divorce." "Come in, darling." My mother's voice dripped with false sweetness as she opened the front door. "Everyone's waiting to celebrate your fresh start." I gripped my small suitcase tighter, the only possession I'd managed to keep after Maurice drained our accounts. 6 months ago, I'd been hosting charity galas in our mansion. Now I was being mocked on my parents' front porch. "Mum, this isn't necessary," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Oh, but it is." My sister Paisley appeared behind her, practically bouncing with glee. "We invited all the neighbours, even Presley and Lacey are here. Everyone wants to support you during this difficult transition." Support, right, the same way vultures support a dying animal. Inside, the living room was packed with familiar faces wearing awkward smiles. A stack of self-help books sat on the coffee table. Starting over at rock bottom, Divorce for Dummies, Minimum Wage, Living for Beginners. Next to them lay a folder stuffed with job applications, McDonald's, Walmart, the local car wash. "Look who finally learned money doesn't grow on trees," Paisley announced to the room. Several people tittered nervously. My father stood in the corner, nursing a scotch, avoiding my eyes. Some defender he'd turned out to be. "Layla!" Presley air-kissed my cheeks. "That outfit is so brave. I mean, wearing last season's clearance rack. That's exactly the kind of humility you'll need now." I smiled tightly, remembering the executive blazer and designer purse hidden in my storage unit across town. The ones they didn't know about, yet. "Time for presents," my mother clapped her hands. "I've prepared a very special care package." She thrust a basket into my arms. Inside were discount makeup, grocery store hair dye, and, I felt my cheeks burn, a book called How to Land a Man When You're Past Your Prime. "You're 32 now, dear," she stage whispered. "We have to be realistic about your prospects." Lacey, all of 19, covered her mouth in exaggerated sympathy. "Oh my God, that's like ancient in dating years." I took a deep breath, remembering my meeting tomorrow with Lewis. My family assumed I'd spent the last year crying over Maurice. They had no idea about the online business degree, the networking, the late-night strategy sessions. They saw what they wanted to see, their failure of a daughter crawling home in shame. "Speech!" Paisley called out. "Mom worked so hard planning this intervention. I mean, homecoming party." "Yes, speech!" My mother's eyes glittered. "Tell everyone what you've learned about reality." I opened my mouth, but before I could respond, a new sound cut through the chatter, the distinctive purr of a luxury engine growing louder as it approached our street. Heads turned toward the window. Through the glass, I could see a sleek black limousine gliding to a stop in front of our house. "Who on earth?" my mother began. Paisley pressed her face against the window. "Did Maurice send someone?" "Actually," I said quietly, savouring the moment, "that would be for me." The doorbell rang. My mother hurried to answer it, clearly expecting some kind of mistake. I followed, aware of the crowd shuffling behind us, not wanting to miss whatever humiliation might come next. A professional-looking driver stood on the porch. "Ms. Murphy, your car is ready. Mr. Steele asked me to ensure you arrive at the office in time for tomorrow morning's executive meeting." The silence behind me was deafening. "There must be some mistake," my mother said sharply. "My daughter is between opportunities at the moment." "No mistake, ma'am." The driver consulted his tablet. "Ms. Murphy starts as Senior Vice President of Operations tomorrow. The car service is part of her executive package." I turned to face my family and their guests. Paisley's mouth hung open. My father had gone pale. Presley was frantically typing on her phone, no doubt updating her gossip network. Thank you for the lovely party, I said, picking up my suitcase, and the career advice, but I'm afraid I have an early meeting tomorrow. Can't keep the board waiting. As I walked toward the limo, my mother's voice rang out, shrill with desperation. Layla, what is the meaning of this? I paused at the car door, thinking of all the nights I'd cried myself to sleep in Morris's mansion, all the times my family had told me to just be grateful for my gilded cage. The meaning? I smiled. Let's just say some of us were busy learning lessons while others were planning parties. The driver opened the door and I slid into cool leather seats. Through the tinted windows I watched my family's faces as the engine purred to life. They had no idea what was coming next. The limo hadn't even turned the corner when my phone exploded with notifications. My mother had already called 3 times. I switched it to silent and watched my childhood home shrink in the rearview mirror. Where to, Ms. Murphy? The driver asked. The Westbrook Hotel, please. I'd booked a suite there last week, anticipating exactly how today would play out. The driver nodded and raised the privacy partition. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Amelia, my one true friend from the old days. OMG, Presley just posted about your exit. Your mum is having a meltdown. You okay? I smiled, typing back. Never better. Meet me for drinks? An hour later, I was sitting in the hotel's rooftop bar with Amelia, both of us watching the sunset over the city skyline. I still can't believe you pulled it off, she said, shaking her head. When you told me your plan last year, I thought the divorce would break you. That's what they all thought. I sipped my martini. Maurice, my family, everyone. Nobody noticed me studying at night, networking at charity events. They were too busy criticising my weight, my clothes, my attitude problem. Speaking of attitude problems, Amelia glanced at her phone. Your sister's been texting me non-stop, fishing for information. She seems worried. She should be. Layla, Amelia leaned forward. There's something you should know. Last month, I overheard Paisley at the country club. She was talking to someone about your divorce settlement, sharing private details. My hand tightened around the glass. What kind of details? Financial stuff. The prenup terms. She was saying Maurice had proof you'd been sneaking around behind his back. Sneaking around? I was taking online classes, not having an affair. I know that, but... Amelia hesitated. The way she was talking, it seemed like she'd been feeding him information. Like she wanted him to think the worst. My phone lit up with another call from my mother. This time I answered. How dare you embarrass me like this, she hissed. Everyone's talking. Presley's mother just uninvited me from her garden party. Funny how that works, isn't it? I kept my voice cool. 1 minute you're throwing a loser party. The next minute you're the one being snubbed. You ungrateful little... She caught herself. Look, your father and I want you to come home. We can discuss this like adults. Like you discussed my divorce with the neighbours, or like Paisley discussed my private affairs at the country club. Silence on the other end. That's what I thought. I hung up. Amelia touched my arm. There's more. Your sister, she's been meeting with Maurice's lawyer. The pieces clicked into place. The timing of Maurice's accusations during the divorce, the leaked details about my online degree, the sudden scrutiny of my networking efforts. It hadn't been random at all. My phone chimed with a text from Lewis. Ready for tomorrow? Board's excited to meet our new SVP. More than ready, I replied, then turned to Amelia. Want to hear something interesting? My new position puts me in charge of several accounts, including Maurice's company's pension fund. Amelia's eyes widened. You're not going to... Of course not. I'm going to manage it perfectly, ethically and profitably, but Maurice doesn't know that. I smiled. Want to bet how long it takes him to panic and pull his business? You're evil, Amelia laughed. I love it. My phone buzzed again. Paisley this time. I answered on speaker. Where are you? She demanded. Mum's hysterical and Dad's talking about his blood pressure. Worried about something, sis? Don't be ridiculous. I mean, this job thing, it's not really real. Oh, it's very real. Corner office, stock options, the works. In fact, my new position gives me interesting insights into certain legal matters. She went quiet. What's that supposed to mean? It means I know about your meetings with Maurice's lawyer. Funny thing about corporate espionage and defamation. They're such serious charges. I didn't, she was stammering now. Sleep well, Paisley. I have an early meeting tomorrow. I hung up. Amelia was staring at me. What are you going to do? I thought about the years of condescension, the subtle sabotage, the way they'd all smiled at that horrible party. I'm going to do exactly what they taught me. Family first. They wanted to teach me a lesson about reality? Fine. Lesson learned. My phone lit up with a final text from Lewis. FYI, local press wants to do a piece on your inspiring journey from divorce to corporate success. Interested? I smiled, imagining my mother's face when she saw that headline. Very interested, I typed back. Amelia raised her glass. To karma, I agreed, and to family lessons. You look tired, darling, Maurice had said that night, exactly 1 year ago. Why don't you let me handle the finances? Your pretty head shouldn't worry about such things. I was sitting in my new office staring at an old photo from that evening. The woman in the picture smiled vacantly at the camera, draped in designer clothes that felt like a costume. A knock at my door snapped me back to the present. Come in. Lewis entered, carrying a stack of files. The press is eating up your story. Corporate Cinderella, that's what they're calling you. Cinderella had better family members, I muttered, then gestured to my computer screen. Take a look at this email I just found. He leaned over, reading quickly. His eyebrows shot up. Is this real? Your sister actually sent Maurice's lawyer details about your class schedule while you were still married? Oh, it gets better. I pulled up another email. Here's one from my mother to Paisley. Keep an eye on her. Maurice needs to know if she's planning anything. Your own mother was spying on you? I remembered those nights studying in my car outside the library because I couldn't concentrate at home. Maurice tracking my phone, my mother demanding daily updates, Paisley dropping by unexpectedly. They thought they were protecting me from myself, I said. Maurice convinced them I was unstable, ungrateful. They bought it completely. My phone buzzed. Another message from my father. Princess, your mother hasn't slept. Please come home. We can fix this. Still trying to play peacemaker? Lewis asked, nodding at my phone. He always does. When Maurice froze our accounts during the divorce, Dad told me to be reasonable and accept it. When I started job hunting, he said I was reaching above my station. I laughed bitterly. Some protection. My office phone lit up, the front desk. Ms. Murphy, your sister is here. She's quite insistent. I glanced at Lewis. He shrugged. Your call. Send her up. 5 minutes later, Paisley burst in, looking less polished than usual. We need to talk. I'm in a meeting, I gestured to Lewis. Actually, he smiled, I should check on those press releases. Interesting family you have, Layla. He closed the door behind him. Paisley paced the office, taking in the view, the expensive furniture, the nameplate on my desk. So it's really true, all of it. Did you think I was bluffing? I thought... She stopped pacing. Look, about those meetings with Morris's lawyer. You mean where you helped him build a case against me? Claimed I was unstable, possibly stealing company information? He was going to pay off my credit cards. She collapsed into a chair. And Mom said it was for your own good, that you needed a wake-up call. I pulled up another email on my screen, turning it toward her. Like this wake-up call. Her face went pale as she read her own words. She's definitely up to something. Taking calls in her car, meeting with people after her classes. Maurice should know she can't be trusted. I was just helping? Is that what you call sabotage these days? You don't understand. You were the golden child, the one who married rich. Do you know what that was like for me? Living at home, watching Mom parade you around like her greatest achievement. I stood up. anger finally breaking through. I was miserable. Maurice controlled everything, my money, my friends, my whole life. And instead of helping me, you helped him destroy me. I didn't know he'd take everything in the divorce. No, you just hoped he would. I pulled out one final email. Here's you to his lawyer, the day before the settlement. Make sure she ends up with nothing. She needs to learn. Paisley started crying, mascara running down her cheeks. Please, you can't show anyone these emails. Mum will never forgive me. Mum already knows. She helped you write some of them. A knock at the door. Lewis again. Sorry to interrupt, but the reporter's here for your interview. Paisley's head snapped up. Interview? About my journey, I smiled, from controlling marriage to corporate success. They're very interested in the support system that helped me get here, or rather the lack of one. You can't, she whispered. You'll destroy us, like you tried to destroy me. I walked to the door. The reporter's waiting. You can see yourself out. Wait, she grabbed my arm. What do you want? Money? An apology? I looked at her tear-stained face, remembering all the times she'd smiled while watching me suffer. I want you to go home and tell Mom and Dad exactly what you did. Tell them about the emails, the meetings, all of it. Then wait for my next move. And if I don't, I picked up my phone. Then I'll forward this entire email chain to every contact in my phone, including Presley. You know how she loves a good scandal. Paisley stumbled to her feet, clutching her designer bag like a shield. At the door, she turned back. We're still family. No, I said quietly. We're just people who share DNA. Now, excuse me, I have an interview about family loyalty to give. Your quarterly projections are impressive, Lewis said, studying the spreadsheets on the conference room screen. The board's already talking about fast-tracking you to the London office. I was about to respond when my assistant hurried in. Sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this. She handed me her tablet. On it was a local gossip blog, headlines screaming, Corporate Climber's Secret Past. Sources reveal shocking details about new executive's marriage. The article was filled with twisted half-truths about my divorce, complete with quotes from anonymous family sources, about my mental instability and questionable business practices. Lewis read over my shoulder. This could be a problem. The board's sensitive about public image. My phone buzzed. Amelia, have you seen what Presley's posting? Says she heard from Paisley that you're under investigation for corporate espionage. Damage control, Lewis said firmly. We need to get ahead of this. No, I stood up. I know exactly where to go. 30 minutes later, I walked into my parents' house without knocking. Paisley was on the couch with my mother, both hunched over their phones. They jumped when I entered. Having fun with your little media campaign? I asked. We don't know what you're talking about, my mother said quickly. I played the voicemail Presley had left me. Paisley told me everything about how you stole company secrets during your marriage, how you blackmailed your way into your new job. Your mum says... I stopped the recording. Want to try that answer again? You threatened me, Paisley shot back. What did you expect? I expected basic human decency. Clearly, that was too much to ask. My father emerged from his study. Now, princess, let's all calm down. Don't princess me. I turned on him. Did you know Paisley was taking money from Maurice to spy on me? His face gave him away. You did know. You all knew. The realization hit me like a physical blow. Did any of you ever actually care about me? Of course we care. My mother stood up. Everything we did was to help you. Maurice was a good provider. You had everything. Except freedom, or dignity, or actual love. Love doesn't pay bills, Paisley sneered. No, but my new job does. I pulled out my phone. Speaking of jobs, let's talk about your little side hustle with Morris's lawyer. Paisley went pale. What do you mean? I played another recording, her voice crystal clear. Yeah, I can get her financial records. Mom has access to her old accounts. We'll prove she was planning this all along." My mother's face hardened. "You're recording conversations now, spying on your own family?" "Funny how that works, isn't it?" I smiled. "I learned from the best." "What do you want?" my father asked wearily. "I want you to understand exactly what you've done. Every leaked secret, every sabotaged opportunity, every time you chose Maurice's money over my happiness. It's all coming back to haunt you." "You wouldn't dare," my mother hissed. "We're your family." "Family?" I laughed. "Family doesn't throw welcome home loser parties. Family doesn't sell each other out for cash. Family doesn't—" My phone rang. "Lewis, turn on the local news, now." I grabbed the remote and switched on the TV. There was Maurice standing outside his company building, looking nervous. "Allegations of pension fund mismanagement are completely false. We have full confidence in the new management team at—" "What did you do?" Paisley whispered. "I did my job, thoroughly reviewed all our accounts, found some interesting irregularities in Morris's company's pension fund. Had to report them, of course. Legally obligated." "You're destroying him," my mother gasped. "No, he destroyed himself. I'm just doing my job." I headed for the door. "Oh, and those rumours about my questionable practices. The board's already seen proof they came from you. They're not happy about false allegations against their new star executive." "Wait!" my father called out. "What happens now?" I turned back one last time. Now you get to experience what it feels like when your whole world turns against you, when people whisper behind your back, when your reputation crumbles." I smiled. "Consider it a family lesson in karma." "You can't do this to us," my mother pleaded. "We'll be ruined, like you tried to ruin me." I opened the door. "By the way, that reporter's story comes out tomorrow. I told her everything. The party, the sabotage, the spying. Don't worry, I used your real names. After all, family should stick together, right?" I walked out, leaving them stammering behind me. My phone buzzed again. "Lewis, London office is very interested in your handling of the pension fund review. How soon can you relocate?" I looked back at my childhood home, at the family that had tried so hard to keep me small, to break my spirit. "How about next week?" I typed back. "I'm done here." "The annual charity gala will be held at the Grand Plaza Hotel," I announced to the board. "And yes, we're streaming it live." 2 weeks had passed since my confrontation with my family. The reporter's story had gone viral, spawning dozens of follow-up articles. My mother's phone had been ringing non-stop with cancelled social engagements. Paisley had deleted all her social media accounts. "Excellent choice of venue," Lewis said. "The guest list?" I handed out copies. Local business leaders, social influencers, charity heads, and I paused for effect. "My family has already RSVP'd." "Are you sure that's wise?" one of the board members asked. "Trust me, they'll come. They can't resist a chance to try fixing their reputation." Back in my office, Amelia was waiting. "Your mother's been calling me again. Says she needs to talk to you before the gala." "I'm sure she does." I pulled up my emails. "Look what Paisley sent Maurice's lawyer last year." Amelia read the screen. "Mum says we should get proof of her late-night meetings. Dad can follow her car after work." "Oh my God, your own father was stalking you." "For my own good, apparently." I clicked through more emails. Here's another one. "Dad says we need to stop her before she ruins everything. Morris's money is too important to the family." "Your father actually wrote that?" "No, but he said it to Paisley, who helpfully documented everything in her emails to Maurice's team." I leaned back. "They never thought I'd see these." My phone buzzed. A text from my mother. "The country club is voting on my membership tomorrow. Please, we need to talk." "Delete," I muttered, then turned to Amelia. "Ready to help me plan a party?" The next week flew by in a whirlwind of preparations. The gala would be my last major event before leaving for London, and I intended to make it memorable. The night before the event, I received a surprise visit. "Princess, My father stood in my office doorway, looking older than I remembered. "Can we talk?" "About what? How you followed me around like a criminal, or how you helped Paisley spy on me?" He slumped into a chair. We all thought we were protecting you. Maurice seemed so perfect. Perfect at manipulation, maybe." I pulled out a folder. "Want to see what your protection looked like?" I spread out the emails, the bank statements showing payments from Maurice to Paisley, the text messages coordinating their surveillance. "I didn't know about the payments," he said quietly, "but you knew everything else. You chose his money over my happiness. We were afraid you'd throw everything away. Your mother, she was so proud of your marriage." "Proud of my cage, you mean?" I stood up. "The gala's tomorrow night. You should all come. See what I've built without your protection." He reached for my hand. I pulled away. "Please, Princess, we can fix this." "No, Dad, you can't fix this, but you can watch what happens next." After he left, I called Lewis. "Everything ready for tomorrow? Cameras are set up. Live stream begins at 8. Sure you want to do this?" I thought of all those nights being followed, spied on, betrayed by my own family. Absolutely sure. The next evening I stood at the gala podium, facing a room full of the city's elite. My family sat near the front, Mother in her finest pearls, Paisley trying to avoid the camera, my father staring at his hands. "Tonight," I began, "we're here to talk about trust, about family, about the price of betrayal." My mother's head snapped up. "Many of you read the recent articles about my journey, but you haven't heard the whole story." I gestured to the screens behind me, where emails began to appear. "These are actual messages documenting a family's conspiracy to destroy one of their own." Gasps filled the room as the evidence scrolled past. Paisley sank lower in her seat. "Why share this tonight? Because this gala isn't just about charity. It's about justice, about showing that success is the best revenge against those who try to keep you small." My mother stood up, face flushed. "Layla, stop this immediately." "No, Mom, I don't take orders from you anymore." I smiled at the cameras. "And now, thanks to this live stream, everyone knows exactly what kind of family values you really have." She grabbed her purse and rushed for the exit, Paisley close behind. My father remained, head bowed. "The London office awaits," I concluded. "But I wanted to leave you all with one final lesson. Karma isn't just a concept. Sometimes it's a carefully planned event." The applause was deafening. Through the camera flashes, I watched my father finally stand and walk out, shoulders slumped. My phone buzzed. "Amelia, you did it. You're finally free." I looked around the room at all the faces that used to intimidate me, all the social circles that once seemed so important. "Yes," I typed back, "and freedom feels exactly like revenge." The morning after the gala, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Local news stations wanted interviews, social media was exploding, family betrayal was trending. "Your speech has over 1 million views," Lewis said, striding into my office. "The London team is ecstatic. They're offering you a bigger position than we discussed." Before I could respond, my assistant rushed in. "Reporters are swarming your parents' house. Your sister just called. She's hysterical." "Not my problem anymore." I turned back to Lewis. "When can I start in London?" My phone rang. "Presley," I answered on speaker. "Oh my God, Layla," she gasped. "The country club just revoked your mother's membership. And Paisley, she got fired from her job. Something about ethical concerns after the live stream." "Karma's fascinating, isn't it?" I said coolly. "But your father, he's in the hospital. Your mother says it's his heart." My hand froze over the desk. "What?" "The stress," she says. "After the gala. Please, you have to do something." I hung up, hands shaking. Lewis watched me carefully. "Don't let them manipulate you," he warned. "This could be another trick." My phone buzzed again. Amelia. At the hospital. It's real. Your dad's asking for you. 20 minutes later, I walked into the cardiac unit. My mother sat in the waiting room, makeup streaked with tears. She stood when she saw me. Happy now? She spat. You've destroyed everything. Our reputation, our social standing, your father's health. Mom! Paisley appeared from around the corner. Stop, please. She looked terrible. Designer outfit replaced with wrinkled clothes, dark circles under her eyes. The doctor says it was a mild heart attack. They're running tests. I walked past them both to my father's room. He lay there, small and pale against the white sheets, monitors beeping steadily. Princess, he whispered, opening his eyes, you came. I shouldn't have. No, listen. He struggled to sit up. I saw the emails, all of them. Last night after the gala, I read everything. Dad, don't... We were wrong. I was wrong. I let your mother's social ambitions and Paisley's jealousy blind me. I failed you. A nurse entered, checking his vitals. Blood pressure's still high. Try to stay calm, sir. After she left, he reached for my hand. This time I didn't pull away. I kept telling myself I was protecting you, he continued, but I was protecting my own comfort. Maurice's money, your mother's status. I chose the easy path. It wasn't easy for me, I said quietly. No, it wasn't. His eyes filled with tears. I watched you suffer. I helped them cage you. What kind of father does that? The monitors beeped faster. I pressed the call button. Princess, he gripped my hand tighter. I don't expect forgiveness, but please know I am so proud of what you've become. Despite us, despite everything. The nurse rushed in. Sir, you need to calm down. I'm leaving for London, I told him. Next week. He nodded slowly. Good. Get far away from all this poison. Build your new life. Mr. Murphy, the nurse insisted, your heart rate. He looked at me pleadingly. Just don't forget you had a father who finally understood how badly he failed you. The monitors were beeping frantically now. More medical staff rushed in. You need to step out, someone told me firmly. In the hallway, I found my mother and Paisley huddled together. The doctor says he needs complete rest, my mother said. No stress, no visitors except family. Isn't that ironic? I laughed bitterly. Now you're concerned about family. Layla, please, Paisley stepped forward. We know we can't fix what we did. But Dad, he's really sorry. We all are. Sorry you did it, or sorry you got exposed? Both, she whispered. Everything's falling apart. Mom's friends won't talk to her. My boyfriend dumped me. My job. Actions have consequences, I said. Isn't that what you all wanted to teach me? The doctor emerged from my father's room. He's stabilized, but needs absolute rest. Family drama isn't helping his recovery. My mother turned to me. You heard him. If you ever cared about your father at all, you'll stay away. I looked through the door at my father's sleeping form. I'm leaving for London anyway. You'll never have to see me again. Layla, Paisley called after me as I walked away. I stopped but didn't turn around. Tell Dad. Tell him I heard what he said. That's all I can offer right now. My phone buzzed. Lewis, London contract is ready. When should I book your flight? I took one last look at my family, huddled in their hospital vigil, their perfect world crumbling around them. Book it for tomorrow, I typed back. I'm ready to leave everything behind. Miss Murphy? My assistant's voice crackled through the intercom. Maurice's lawyer is here, with papers. I was in my office, surrounded by moving boxes. London awaited, just 24 hours away. Send him in. The lawyer, a sharp-suited man named Thomas, placed a thick envelope on my desk. My client is filing a lawsuit for corporate espionage and defamation. I opened the envelope, scanning the documents. Let me guess, Paisley provided the evidence. Your sister has agreed to testify about your activities during your marriage. My phone buzzed. Amelia, Paisley just posted online about telling the truth about you. What's happening? Interesting timing, I said to Thomas, right before I leave for London. Mr. Maurice believes you used confidential information obtained during your marriage to secure your current position. The pension fund audit was particularly suspicious. I opened my laptop, turning it toward him. You mean this audit, the one requested by the board 3 months before I joined the company, with documentation of every meeting, every finding, every legal consultation? He frowned, studying the screen. And these emails, I continued, pulling up another folder, showing Maurice's own mismanagement, all obtained through proper corporate channels after I was hired. Nevertheless, and let's not forget these, I clicked again, recordings of Paisley admitting she was paid to spy on me. Quite illegal, actually. Should we discuss witness tampering? The lawyer's confidence wavered. Those recordings are authenticated and time-stamped, unlike Paisley's supposed evidence. My phone rang. My father's number, I ignored it. Your client has 2 choices, I told Thomas. Drop this now, or I release everything. Every shady deal, every manipulated account, every illegal payment to my sister. Your call. He gathered his papers quickly. I'll discuss this with my client. After he left, I finally checked my father's voicemail. Princess, please. Paisley's desperate. The scandal ruined her life. She thought helping Maurice might fix things. Delete. My assistant buzzed again. Your mother's here. No visitors. She's crying, I sighed. Oh, fine. My mother burst in, mascara streaked down her face. How could you? Your own sister. You mean the sister who took bribes to spy on me, who helped Maurice destroy me? She made mistakes, we all did. But this... she gestured at my packed office. This revenge has gone too far. Your father can barely sleep. Paisley's life is ruined. Our name is mud in this town. Karma's a bitch, isn't it? We're still your family. No, I stood up. You're the people who threw a party to mock my pain, who conspired with my abusive ex-husband, who followed me, spied on me, tried to break me. We thought we were helping by destroying me. She collapsed into a chair. What do you want from us? Total destruction? Complete humiliation? I wanted parents who loved me, a sister who supported me, a family who chose me over money and status. I walked to the window. I wanted the opposite of what I got. Your father's heart. Don't. I turned back. Don't use his health to manipulate me. Not again. My phone buzzed. Lewis. Maurice's lawyer called. They're dropping everything. It's over, Mom, I said. I leave tomorrow. You'll never have to see me again. But where will you go for holidays? Who will take care of us when we're old? I laughed incredulously, still thinking about what I can do for you. You're our daughter. I'm your victim. There's a difference. She stood shakily. So this is it? You're choosing revenge over family? No, I'm choosing freedom over abuse. Now, please leave. After she was gone, Amelia called. Maurice withdrew the lawsuit. Paisley's having a meltdown on social media. Your mum's telling everyone you've abandoned them. Let them spin whatever story makes them feel better. Your dad? I hesitated. Still in the hospital, stable. Are you okay? I looked around my empty office, thinking of all the nights I'd spent here planning my escape. I don't know what I feel anymore. Revenge is exhausting, she said softly. Yeah. I touched the window, watching the sunset over the city I'd grown up in. But so is being everyone's victim. My phone lit up with a final text from Paisley. I hope you're happy. You've ruined everything. I typed back. No, we all ruined everything. I'm just the one who survived. Then I blocked her number, along with my mother's and father's. Tomorrow I'd board a plane to London, leaving behind the wreckage of a family that had tried to cage me. Was it worth it? Amelia asked quietly. I thought about my mother's tears, my father's illness, Paisley's desperation, about the cost of revenge, not just to them, but to my own soul. "Ask me again in a year," I said. "Right now, I just need to be free." The London rain pelted against my office windows as I finished typing the last line of my story. My finger hovered over the post button on Reddit. My phone rang. "Amelia, did you see the local paper's website? Your mother's giving interviews. Let me guess, poor, abandoned woman whose ungrateful daughter destroyed her family. Close. She's claiming you had a mental breakdown and fabricated everything." I laughed. Good thing I kept those emails. "Are you really going to post everything online?" "Already did." I clicked post. Let the internet decide who's telling the truth. My office door opened. Lewis, now my London colleague. "Board meeting in 10. Ready to present the quarterly results?" "Always." I gathered my papers, then noticed my phone lighting up with notifications. The post was going viral. During the meeting, my phone buzzed constantly. I ignored it until we finished, then checked the messages. Hundreds of comments, thousands of shares, and one unexpected email from my father. "Princess, your mother's doing interviews again, making up stories. But I won't let her twist the truth anymore. I've sent proof to every reporter she talked to, copies of the emails, the payment records to Paisley, everything. It's time someone in this family chose you." I sat back stunned. My phone rang. Amelia again. "Your dad just blew up your mum's PR campaign. She's hysterical. Paisley's threatening to sue him. It's chaos." He actually did it? "Check your email. He sent you something else." I opened my inbox. There was a video file from my father. With shaking hands, I pressed play. His face filled the screen, looking older but clearer somehow. "Princess, I don't expect this to fix anything, but I'm done being a coward. I'm done watching your mother and sister try to rewrite history. You deserved better. You deserved a father who protected you, not your abusers. I can't change the past, but I can stop lying about it." The video ended. I sat there, tears rolling down my face. My office phone buzzed. My assistant. "Ms. Murphy, there's a situation developing with the pension fund audit." I wiped my eyes. "What kind of situation?" "Maurice's company. They're imploding. The audit revealed more than just mismanagement. It's fraud on a massive scale. The press is all over it." I opened my newsfeed. Headlines screamed about Maurice's arrest, about millions in missing pension funds, about a years-long scheme finally exposed. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Morris. "You bitch," he slurred. "You planned this. You ruined me." "No, Maurice, you ruined yourself. I just did my job." "Your sister told me everything, how you plotted this for years." I laughed. "Paisley, the same sister who took your bribes, who's going to believe her now?" He hung up. Moments later, Amelia called. "Maurice just got arrested on live TV. Paisley's crying on social media about being misled into helping him. Your mum's locked herself in her house, but your dad, what about him? He's giving a statement to the press, confirming everything you said, admitting what they did to you." I opened my laptop, finding a live stream. There was my father standing straight despite everything, telling the truth at last. "We failed our daughter," he was saying. "We chose money and status over her happiness. We helped her abusive husband control her. We threw a party to mock her pain, but she survived. She succeeded, not because of us, but despite us." My office door opened. Lewis again. "The board's calling an emergency meeting. Maurice's collapse affects some of our biggest accounts. I'll be right there." I turned back to the live stream. "I don't ask for forgiveness," my father continued. "I don't deserve it. But I want the world to know my daughter told the truth, and it's time we all faced it." My Reddit post had exploded. Thousands of comments, shares across multiple platforms. The truth was spreading, unstoppable now. "Ready?" Lewis asked. I stood up, gathering my strength. "Ready." Before heading to the meeting, I sent one final email to my father. Dad, I saw your statement. Thank you for choosing truth over comfort. Finally. I'm not ready for forgiveness, maybe I never will be. But I'm ready to stop carrying the weight of our family's lies. You did that for me today. P.S. Tell Mom and Paisley they can stop trying to rewrite history. The internet never forgets. I walked into the board meeting with my head high, leaving behind the ghosts of that welcome home loser party. My revenge wasn't in destroying my family type. It was in surviving them, succeeding despite them, and finally telling the truth about them. Sometimes karma doesn't just come full circle. Sometimes it brings receipts, goes viral and changes everything. And sometimes, just sometimes, it sets you free.